next. I need a Nike bag, give me the check. I need the money and power, respect, but I promise I'm repping the O to the dead. Hey, I told them out of my way. I don't got nothing to say. Now they can't run at my pace. Yeah, they know that we ain't the same. 402, we rap the game. I told them this ain't a game.
Ladies and gents, what is up? It's another episode of Finn's Take with your boy, CB83. Hey, appreciate all the people coming out. We already got 8 in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. It's another Finn's Take show, man. It's been a while, right? You guys excited to see me? You know, trying to take these little hiatuses, you know, give you guys a little something to check out when I do come back. You know, appreciate everybody coming through. I got my man Raul Parada in the building. What's good with you, Raul? He says, hello, CB83. Glad to hear from you. I'm glad to be able to speak to you, Raul P. Glad to be able to speak to you, bro. Anthony Manzano, what is good? Anthony is always in the community, always around. What's up with you, bro? Clements, what's good? He says, yo, CB, what's poppin'? What's poppin', Clemente? What's poppin' with you? Justo, he says, yo, what's good? We got Money Mitch in the building. Man, it's getting cranking in here early, man. What's up with y'all, man? Look, man, Anthony Manzano says, CB, I was recently watching an interview with Justin Herbert. He was doing an interview with Saw the Sports Media in LA on the radio, and he says he's very leery of signing an extension with the Chargers. I wonder why that is, man. Why is he leery about signing an extension with the Chargers? We'll see. We got a lot to talk about tonight, man. I appreciate you guys coming through. Hey, please, guys, on your way in, just hit the like for me. That helps a lot. It lets people know I'm live. Please hit the like for me as you come in. We got almost 10 in the building right now. If we could get those 10 likes, I'd greatly appreciate that. I'm going to try to keep it kind of organized for you guys tonight, man. I'm going to just try to run down these topics. If you have anything you want me to discuss or want me to address, you want my opinion on, you want my input on, feel free to throw it in the chat. I'm going to actually try to take some questions from the audience, try to touch on some topics you guys want to. And honestly, I may get to it, you know, in these notes that I have. I may get to it. There's a couple of topics I'm definitely going to touch on. One of those being the Fangio situation and him becoming our next DC. I'm going to talk about free agency a little bit, talk about guys that are available, guys that we may need to approach. Is Poyer an option? Is that going to be an option for us? Like that's something we got to talk about. The quarterback situation, and I know you guys love to talk quarterback. Is Tua still in protocol? Like, is that still a situation? Are the Dolphins protecting him? Is he protecting himself? I mean, that's something we got to talk about too. Off-season needs, man. And off-season needs, I think everybody talks about this. But man, I mean, it's kind of obvious to us after watching the season. The season is really so fresh in our minds that, you know, that we kind of know exactly what we need in order to be successful for next year, right? Hopefully our GM and our front office knows that too, and you know, they could get that done. Now, it's not always cut and dry. It's not always as easy as just saying, hey, we need this, this, and this. But we do need guys that are going to stay healthy and be on the field. So that's a big part of it also, man. Like I said, I appreciate everybody coming out. We got 15 in the building. Please hit the like on your way in. Appreciate everybody stopping through. We got Raul P in here, Anthony Manzano. If you in here, get in the chat, bro. I'm going to shout y'all out. Clemente, we got Justo. We got Money Mitch in the building, Anthony Manzano. Mr. Ball Game in the building. What's good, Mr. Ball Game? What's good? Stopping through. Appreciate you coming through, man. Mr. Ballgame says the Dolphins don't need Poyer. Brandon Jones can do everything Poyer can do, and he's younger. I disagree with that. And in evaluating Brandon Jones, he's just not a great cover guy. And you can disagree with me. I'm fine with you disagreeing with me, but I don't think he's a cover guy. I don't think he has the hips to move side to side and cover guys in space like that, especially one-on-one. I think he can do a good job in zone defense, but I don't think he's a great man-to-man guy unless he's matched up with bigger guys like tight ends or, big outside wide receivers. I don't think he's a good cover guy where he could cover guys in the slot who are running into zones and things like that. I just don't think he has the athleticism for that. I think he's a good athlete. I just don't think he's a good cover guy. And that's something he's got to get better at. And, we can talk about that. We can discuss that. I just don't think he's a great cover guy. I think Poyer's a much better cover guy. I think he's a much better scheme fit. And, I don't know if the Dolphins will have an opportunity to get him. I just think he's a better option in the Fangio scheme. And we'll talk about that. Now, talking about Fangio, let's kind of dive into this a little bit. Now, the title of this video is Fangio to Miami, Why I'm Not Sold, right? Why I'm not sold on Fangio. The Fangio scheme, I like it. I like the way he's disguising stuff, right? And honestly, in today's NFL, right, you don't want to tip your hand to the offense. Quarterbacks are smart. Quarterbacks are smarter than they've ever been, right? So if you cannot tip your hand and show what you're running prior to the play being ran, you have an advantage. You do, right? The great quarterbacks, the great ones who we talk about, adjust at the line of scrimmage and do all this stuff and audible, and they see that. They see what you're doing pre-snap, and they say, hey, I know what they got. I know what they're giving us. And as a result of that, shit, I'm going to take what they're going to give us on this play. So when you can disguise it and do stuff mid-play, it really throws a wrench in the game. And honestly, I think we saw some of that with Tua late in the season, right? We saw them kind of move into zones, take away certain things, and he struggled because he thought he was going to see one thing and he saw something else once the ball was snapped. And that's part of corners just being physical, knocking guys off their routes, getting hands on receivers. That's a big part of playing defense. I think a lot of people don't realize it, but the secondary and these linebackers, if you can get hands on receivers and not give them free run throughs and not let them post up in zones like they want to, then it's going to be more difficult for your quarterback to see these guys. More difficult to evaluate the field and get the ball to guys. So I think that's part of it also. So in talking about that, we'll see how it turns out. I think he's a great secondary guy for sure. I think he's going to have the secondary in position to be successful. I think it's going to work in our favor because right now we just aren't a great physical man-to-man. We don't have those type of corners anymore. X used to be a guy who could do that. Not really that guy anymore. Struggles with it. We had Byron Jones who could be physical and play man-to-man. Not playing right now. So we'll see. We'll see how we approach that. But getting back to it, man, we got 15 in the room. Shout out to my guy, Raul P, Mr. Ballgame, S. Harris, Tony Manzano, Darius Diesel, Justo, what's good? Anthony Manzano says, CB, I've been saying this. I don't think the Dolphins might end up switching to purely a 4-5 defense, having Brandon Jones as the striker and drafting 2 linebackers that fit the system. I think we do draft some linebackers or go get some guys in free agency. I think that's what's missing on this defense is some physicality in the middle and, just some guys who can dissect a little bit faster, man, who can read keys and get downhill right away. I think that's what the Dolphins are missing. in that defense. Just a guy who has a physical presence, who's going to be around the ball every time and be sideline to sideline, and even strike you in the backfield. Like, we don't have a guy who's a thumper like that. I think Landon Roberts really outplayed his contract this year, played well. I thought he played well for what he was getting paid. And, people will say he's a bad linebacker, but when you're only getting paid a couple mil, you're not supposed to be in there every play, and making plays. That's just, I mean, that's a gem. That's a treasure. So I'm evaluating on him on what he got paid. And he got paid pennies for what he was doing. Mr. Ballgame says, how can we evaluate him? He's never been asked to do it for an extensive amount of time. No one knows what he can do because no one has really asked it of him. I get that. So you said, now, did they not ask him to do it because they seen he can't do it, and evaluating his college film and evaluating, him as a player? They said, hey, you can't do it? Or is it that, like, what is it? Are they putting him in the best position to succeed by not putting him in a position to cover guys one-on-one? Like, let's be real. Like, they know what they got out of Brandon Jones coming out of college. These draft guys put in a lot of work, right? They watch a lot of film. They know guys in and out. They know what they can do. They know what they can't do. We haven't seen Brandon Jones be a great cover guy ever for the Miami Dolphins. We haven't seen him make plays on the ball, get interceptions. We haven't seen that. I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying it's something we haven't seen. So that's why I say Poyer is definitely a better option. Honestly, I'd like a safety back there, two safeties back there that are going to be free safety guys, make plays on the ball, play center field, and then come down the hill and hit you. I like Brandon Jones as a tackler. He's a pretty good tackler. I'm not going to say he's a bad tackler. I just think he's more fit for like a Derwin James role. A Derwin James, a guy who's in the box, outside of the box, who does a little bit more in the box. I think he's more suited for that type of role. So that's where I see him. He doesn't have the size that Derwin has, and Derwin is my guy. I'm a Florida State guy. Derwin's that dude, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. I don't think safety will be the Dolphins' number one option. It's a luxury at this point. Now, him and Tyreek do have a really good relationship. So maybe that's something that, that pushes him towards Miami. We don't know. And if you go check out Tyreek's podcast, Jordan Poyer was on there. He was one of the guests on his podcast. So go check out that episode, see what they were talking about, see what type of relationship they got. They seem really cool. I think it'd be cool to have him. I think he adds another element to our defense. Honestly, we need a guy. I like Holland. I like Holland blitzing too, man. So I understand, like, Brandon Jones, he's not a great cover guy. He hasn't been asked to do it. But I want a guy that, hey, if I roll a safety down into the box to blitz the quarterback or to run some type of blitz on the quarterback, I want the other guy to be able to cover. He has to be able to cover back there and play that center field role. If we blitz Holland, then I don't think Brandon Jones can do that. He's not the guy I'm going to put back there in center field if I got to send Holland. Poyer, I could do that with. And I think that's what Fangio's scheme is predicated on. It's the versatility of the safeties. Guys who can cover, guys who could blitz, guys who could do a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. I think you're just a little limited with Brandon Jones at safety. Now, I don't think he's a bad player at all. I think he's a really good football player, especially for, where he was drafted and what he is. So that's something, we'll have to take a look at in the offseason, and we'll see what the Dolphins do. And we'll see if we even get Fangio, because that's another discussion, right? Darius Diesel, what's good with you? What's up with you, man? He says, what's good, CB83? Hey, we got 20 in the room. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Appreciate y'all coming through. Jesso says our problems aren't safety. They're at linebacker. I think Baker can improve with an alpha middle linebacker next to him. Our D-line is set. I like our D-line. Now we got to bring some guys back. Like we still have to sign some linebackers. We got a lot about linebackers that, who might not be on the team next year. I think Baker's on the contract. Roberts is a free agent, right? Duke Riley's a free agent. Melvin Ingram's a free agent. So we got to figure out like who we're going to have, at linebacker. I do think Jerome Baker can be a good linebacker. But he's just not a middle guy. We need an alpha middle guy. I don't think Tyndall is that. So it'd be nice to get a guy in the building who's really a dog, and I just don't see it yet. I just don't see it. S. Harris says, just though I think we need an overhaul at linebacker. We've been doing this song and dance with them for a while. Yeah. People talk about Tua and the quarterback situation, bro. This linebacker situation has been iffy too, bro. It's been a bunch of like degenerates, bro. And I understand like all the guys on your team can't be studs, right? All them dudes can't be studs. But I feel like you gotta have one at every level. Like you gotta have somebody on the defensive line who's a dog, preferably on both sides. And you gotta have somebody at the linebacker level who could just get it how you live. And we gotta have somebody like that. We don't have anybody like that. I do like the physicality of Elena Roberts and the way he plays. I mean, down the stretch, he played really good football. The Jets game, the Bills game, I thought he was solid, man. And I think getting Elena Roberts back in the locker room would be a great addition. I like Elena Roberts. He's physical. He plays tough. He'll get downhill if he needs to. He'll stick you. I think if we could add another thumper in the middle along with Roberts and Baker, that might be the key. That might be it right there. I think they could do some damage there. So we'll see. We'll see what they do with the linebacker room. You still got Van Ginkel. You still got some other guys who are, rotational pieces, but it's going to be tough, man. I think the Dolphins are in a good position, though. I mean, when you look at our team last year, we just couldn't stay healthy. That comes with it. That's just the nature of the beast sometimes. So, if we come back, stay healthy, get a couple more pieces, ain't no telling, man. You're not telling me that we're not as good as Cincy and these other teams. But these teams are not very good at all. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with Cincy. I'm not impressed with Kansas City right now. We could have easily been right in the thick of things, man. Been right in the thick of it had we had a healthy quarterback. And that's just another conversation. It really is. Justo said, wouldn't mind seeing McKinley, Holland, and Jones on the field at the same time in Fangio's system. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that either. Maybe you put Jones down in the box a little bit, rotate him down, and then have McKinley and Holland back there. Yeah, man. My dog Marcus says, dang, now we all on the couch. Yes, sir. Everybody on the couch at this point. Only Philly and KC still in the joint, man. Only Philly and KC, man. Shout out to those teams. You see what Philly does with that read option, man. That Jalen Hurts running the ball, that's a different element. If they're not doing that, they're not being successful. They're not winning the games. So you can see how that running quarterback just does add another element. And it looks similar to Baltimore and how they run the read option with Lamar. So it's just tough to guard when you got to guard the quarterback, you got to guard the running back. He may pull it, throw it. It just adds a different element. And that's what the Dolphins tried to do with Tua. He's just not that type of athlete, man. He's just not that type of athlete who could just pull it and run it like that. In order to run the read option efficiently, you got to have that read pass option, and it's got to be legit. It can't be, oh, my quarterback's, he could run it, if he gets a great lane but he's not fast, then he's not going to scare me. No, it's got to be a dude at quarterback who's going to scare you, a dude at running back who's going to scare you, and some dudes on the outside who's going to scare you. If it's not that, then that RPO shit, you might as well throw that shit out the window because that shit ain't working. If you ain't got a dude at quarterback who can run that shit, it ain't working. It's not. So that's what the Dolphins need to kind of evaluate and figure out. Honestly, man, Mike McDaniels just disappointed me late in the season with the play calling. Now Buffalo, the Jets, he gets a little creative. Like I just didn't understand why it took so long to get creative with this offense. Like, bro, you had all season. What are you waiting for to pull out? Like, we're trying to get into the playoffs. Like, I know you got Skyler and you got, man, get creative. And we saw it. I did the stream before the game, before the Jets game. And I'm like, yo, Mike McDaniels, you need to call some damn plays, bro. You keep running the same shit, and that shit is not working. Bro, get creative. Use Tyreek. Use Tyreek in a Debo role. Put his ass in the backfield. Do something different. Like, you got $30 million man, get him dudes the ball. I don't care how you get it to him. Put him at running back and toss it to him. Do something. And that's what I didn't see from Mike McDaniel. I want to see that next year, man. I got to see that. Shake Money in the building. What's good, Shake? It's another beautiful day in Zamunda, man. Appreciate y'all boys coming through. Says Miami are going to hire co-defensive coordinators. Don't tell me that bullshit, Shake. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear it, Shake. You ain't trolling me tonight, Shake. You ain't trolling me tonight. JR Black, Junior Black, what's good with you? You said, CB, you on that negative theory like them other channel, fam. Don't follow the negative conspiracy Dolphins fans that only see doom and gloom. Nah, man, I'm good over here. I'm good. Yeah, man. My dog Raul in the building. He said we need a new quarterback, man. Man, you better worry about Fields. Y'all about to trade Fields, man. Bro, y'all about to trade Fields to get Bryce Young. That would be the worst thing the Bears could ever do. They about to trade Fields to get Bryce Young. I can see them doing some dumb shit like that. Los Dolphin Fanatics, what's good with you? Samoan Sniper QB1. Junior Black says CB on the negative theory like them other channels. Nah, man, we positive, bro. We good over here, bro. We ain't in the trap. The wolf pack don't bother me, man. They don't even come around these parts. He says y'all gonna kiss Tua cojones next season. Ooh, talking that Tua talk, boy. Talking that Tua talk. Darius says at work tuning in live. What's good with you, fam? What's good? Yeah, a rookie head coach disappointed me. He did. Honestly, Mike McDaniels is smarter than that, man. I feel like you got to make them adjustments, bro. You got to make them adjustments, man. And honestly, when you got to we started to see it late in the season, but I wanted to see it earlier. Like, when you got a player like Skyler who doesn't know, I mean, he can't run the full playbook. You got to give him some help, man. You got to get the ball out quick. You got to hand it off to some guys. You got to do a little reverses. Like, we saw it late in the season. He started getting jiggy with it late in the season with the play calling. But I wanted to see it a little bit more, man, like during the season. Like, during those San Fran Chargers games, San Fran, Chargers, Green Bay, man, we were cooking, but it's like, bro, you could have did a little bit more play calling wise. Like, he was forcing stuff, bro. Don't force it. Like, if they're not giving it to you, then take it. You got to take it somewhere else. You got to use different parts of the field. Guys, the best offensive coordinators are going to use the entire field, and they're going to use their entire like repertoire weapons. Like, they're going to use them to their advantage, man. And that's where we are with that, man. And honestly, I'm off the offense right now. I'm gonna get back to the defense and talking about Vic Fangio. And Darius has a good question. CB, do you think Vic will have our defense ranked top 10? I think so, man. Honestly, this is my thing with our defense. Our defense was a good defense prior to Vic Fangio coming. Prior to Boyer leaving, this defense is good, man. This defense, honestly, is a top 10 defense. There's no reason this year we should have been outside of the top 10. And that's why I think Boyer was fired, because he just didn't have a good unit. Even with injuries, even with people going down, you couldn't get off the field. You couldn't call it right. We finally saw the defense play a good game when you played aggressive, when you sent people, when you kept the offense guessing. That's when we finally saw the defense play a good game. That's when we finally got 2 turnovers in the game, is when you started cranking shit up, bringing that heat, doing something different. That defense is good, even with the secondary banged up, even with Byron Jones not there, even with Brandon Jones not there, even with Nick Needham. That defense is still damn good, but you just got to call it right. And that's what we saw in the Buffalo game. We saw him call a good game, be aggressive, send the heat, get Josh Allen moving side to side, have him guessing. Josh Allen out there seeing ghosts. That's what you want. You can't sit back and just take it. You can't sit back and take it, man. And that's what I want to see from Fangio. And honestly, he don't even blitz a lot. This is something I don't like too. Right? I don't like defensive coordinators who aren't going to send some shit. Like, you got to send it every now and then. You got to mix it up. Honestly, our linebackers right now, that unit isn't good enough to not blitz and still stop the run or stop guys in the box. It's just not good enough. Now, if you get some stud linebackers who can play and just dissect shit and go run and attack the ball, cool. We can run the Fangio, and I'm not worried at all. But the way our linebackers, you know how Kevin Hart said, the way my bank account set up, bro, the way our linebackers are set up right now, that is not the play for us. We can't sit back and just play in zone and just watch guys run the football on us, because our linebackers aren't good enough to stop that shit. Not good enough to stop it right now. So that's why I'm a little leery of this Fangio thing. He's just got to bring in some guys. I'm not sold on Fangio because of the talent we have on the defensive side, right? I'm not sure about Brandon Jones playing the second safety back there. I'm not sure about our linebacker unit. I think our defensive line is pretty good. I think they're more finesse than they need to be. And that bothers me a little bit. I think our defensive line is a little finesse. I do like Christian Wilkins. I do like Seiler. Raekwon Davis is solid. Phillips, I like him. They're just a little finesse. And honestly, they're really bad at contain, and that bothers me too, because the running quarterback ate our lunch all season. So that's something we got to get better at. Like, we got to get better at containing quarterbacks, because if you can't contain quarterbacks, and we saw Phil's ate on us, bro. Phil's ate on us. Lamar ate on us for the most part. All the running quarterbacks ate on us. Like, we got to do a better job of keeping those guys inside. And honestly, it shouldn't be that hard, man. Defensive ends are taught outside shoulder free. Keep your outside shoulder free. Don't let tight ends reach you and get you turned inside and stuff like that. They gotta be better than that. And that's something we gotta do. We gotta get better at containing these quarterbacks and just keeping guys boxed in, man. And when we do keep them boxed in, our linebackers gotta be ready to make plays, man. Gotta be ready to make plays. So yeah, man, the off season is underway, man. It's underway. So I definitely want to talk about some of the let's talk about this QB situation. And I'm not going long tonight, but I do want to talk about the QB a little bit. So supposedly Tua I don't think he's in protocols per se, but I think supposedly he's not going to the Pro Bowl. And I've heard some guys talk about this. Some guys are saying, hey, they feel like the Dolphins are holding them back. They feel like he should be able to go to the Pro Bowl. Man, sit your ass home, man. If you can't play in the playoffs in the last game of the season, you don't need to be going to no Pro Bowl. You need to be getting healthy and chilling. Like, I don't want to see you. I don't want to see Tua at no Pro Bowl. I don't want to see him, bro. And honestly, they probably don't want him around other players talking about the situation. Tua probably felt like he could have played in the last game. That would look really bad if he goes out there and he's talking to other guys. Man, I could have played, man. They just held me back. It just looks bad for the organization. It looks bad for the NFL. So I doubt they have him go out there. I wouldn't have him out there either, especially since he couldn't play in the last game of the season. Bro, stay your ass home and get healthy. That's what we need. Sit your ass home. Because if you can't play, then you can't play. You can't go, right? Stay home, get healthy, get in the playbook, go throw with your guys, and get ready for the offseason. I don't want to see you out there, politicking at the Pro Bowl. And I know it's a cool experience for him. I mean, he deserves it. If he gets voted in, he deserves it. But bro, it's at this point, since you got hurt and you can't play, it's just you got to chalk that one up. You got to chalk that one up. And I'm sure Tua probably doesn't even want to be out there. And I don't want to speak for him, but he just seems like the type of guy that, he doesn't want all the media attention on him. He doesn't want to have to answer those questions because they're tough questions at this point. Hey, your team made it to the playoffs. Do you feel like you let your team down by not playing? Do you feel like, you could have played? Like he's got some real questions to answer. And I think that's why he's kind of shielding himself from that. And I think the Dolphins are saying, hey, it's not a good situation to be in with you being out there. So I think that's fair to him and the organization to not put him in that situation with being at the Pro Bowl. Now, do I think he's in protocol? No, I don't think he's in protocol. I just think they're trying to protect what they got, protect their investment, get him healthy for next year. And I think he's, probably on the same trajectory, like just trying to make sure he's right for next season. I think that's most important. My man Junior Black says our D-line is made for 4-3, not 3-4. Thank God Fangio 4-3 defense is back in Dolphins. Yes, man. That 3-4 shit is, I don't even like it. I'm telling you, I don't like it. It's weak to me. It's weak to me unless you have some studs at linebacker. And we don't got them dudes. We don't. We don't even got them dudes in the middle like that. Like if we had like a true zero technique, like a Vince Wilfork or somebody we could truly put in a zero tech and he could really wreak havoc in the middle, we would be suited for a 3-4. And we have some good-ass linebackers. Bro, we don't have that. We have some finesse dudes in the middle, finesse dudes on the outside, and our backers, they're going to get ran over slowly. So that's why we're not suited for a 3-4. I like 4-3, 4-4, right? As Harris says, definitely suits better at 4-3 and hopefully some 4-4 depending on personnel. Yeah, bro, that's what you need. And you need some dogs at the back position. You need to get Jalen Phillips' hand in the dirt. You need to get Chubb's hand in the dirt. Everybody on the line, hand in the dirt, and then you need to have them linebackers ready to go, firing off, ready to make plays. For sure. What set you from? What's popping? He said Tua. What's cracking? Damn, not the fingers twisted up. Damn, that's messed up, bro. As Harris said, it made no sense for him to play. We didn't hear about any 75 other players who aren't playing in the Pro Bowl for whatever reason. It's just clickbait, shock value stuff. Yeah. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Now, let's talk about this Fangio situation a little bit. Now, supposedly the dude ain't coming. Bro, this media clickbait community we got, man, this is just wild to me, man. I don't even entertain this stuff. Maybe he doesn't come, maybe he does. I really don't care at this point. If he backs out, that would just be a slap in the face, to us. But it is what it is. It's happened before. I ain't gonna cry over no spilled milk if he don't end up coming. That's the last thing I'm gonna do. But if he does, hey, if you want to be part of something special, come to Miami. If not, kick rocks, homeboy. You already know what time it is, man. This team will be special next year. This team was special this year, honestly. Special this year. I told y'all that from the get-go. I told y'all this team had the ability to beat anybody on any given Sunday if they lined up and executed. Skyler played like Skyler, like a rookie would, man. And that's honestly what I expected. Do I think he's the reason we lost the game? No, I don't think he's the reason we lost the game. I just think when it comes to the playoffs, there's going to be opportunities that you got to take advantage of. And if you don't, you're probably not winning the game, right? We went up in that game 24-20 at one point. Defense scored a touchdown for us, got us up. At that point, defense, you got to get a stop, and we got to come back and score. Man, ain't no going 3 and outs. Ain't no, bro, we got to score. Ain't no kicking field goals. It's the playoffs. And that's the difference between good teams and okay teams. Is just more of a sense of urgency, man. More of a sense of urgency in regards to scoring and getting stops. And we saw that, in Philly. And Philly just really, honestly, I thought they let the Niners hang around too long. And then Purdy got hurt, and it was a wrap after that. Josh Johnson couldn't get it done. Couldn't get it done. So we'll see, man. Any questions for me, man? Go ahead. I'm gonna take like maybe 5 questions in the chat. And I'm gonna jot them down so I don't forget them. But if y'all put a question in the chat, I'm gonna answer it. I'm gonna address some of these takes, man. I know there's a lot of stuff y'all haven't heard me talk about, but honestly, guys, I'm in spaces. I'm in the Twitter spaces. I'm on other people's shows. So if you don't see me on my show, just know I'm somewhere in the Dolphins community. Y'all can always find me. Miami Sports Music Channel. Sometimes I'm on TFTG. You could catch me in the Twitter spaces on Batman's show. Even on his YouTube channel. I'm on Batman's show. In the Twitter space, getting after Lewis. Lewis always got some trash to say, so I be killing his takes. I be killing EM. I be killing everybody, bro. So people don't line up with me, without getting knocked down, man. You already know what it is. Click clack, bang, man. Canes, what's good with you, my boy? He says, yo, what's good? What's good, bro? What's good, man? What's popping with y'all, man? Another Tuesday night, getting it cracking a little bit. Hey, shout out to Miss Fins too, man. Big shout out to Miss Fins. I was on her. Went through her channel this morning, checked her out. It's all love, man. What's my Twitter? My Twitter is Fins Taker. It's like Fins Take _83, man. I'll be in the Twitter spaces messing with Batman and Lewis, killing Rabby Dolphin fan. I'll be killing him. S. Harris says, if he doesn't come, you already know your homies over there are going to have all kind of wild narratives. Oh, no one wants to coach with McDaniel. He's not a good coach, yada, yada. Bro, you already know, man. The negativity in this community, it's a bunch of negative Nancy's, bro. Bunch of negative Nancy's. You gotta laugh at it, because if you laugh at it, you'll just drive yourself. If you don't laugh at it, you'll drive yourself crazy. You really will. You really will. So you gotta just, sit back and laugh. Shout out to Miss Fins. Yeah, big shout out to Miss Fins. Samuel Rosa, he says, yeah, I've seen you everywhere. Yeah, bro, I'm always everywhere, bro. Even if I'm not on my channel, I'm gonna be somewhere in the community, getting after somebody or just having fun with it, bro. That's what I do, man. I be around. I get around. Like Tupac, man. You already know what time it is. Shake. Money. Good question. First position you address in the draft. Honestly, first position I'm addressing in the offseason, hands down. If Mike McDaniels or if Chris Greer came to me and I was a coach and I was making the decisions and he said, hey, Coach Patton, what do you need in order for us? What's the first thing we're going to address this season, this offseason? I would say, hey, Chris, I would say, what position did we have the most movement at? What position did we shuffle around the most this season? That we could never get continuity, that it was always somebody coming in new every week. What was that position? And what position do you usually see guys play at all year and not lose one of them? It's the offensive line position. Like, why are we shuffling guys every week? Why do we have a new offensive line every week? You can't play well like that in the NFL. Guys, I don't think you guys realize how important it is. Continuity is important. I've said it. I've kind of diminished it at times. I've said, hey, continuity is not important for an offensive line. I've said that at times. But I've also said, hey, guys need to be there. They need to be next to each other. They need to know, hey, this is the same guy I played with last week. I know I can communicate with him. A lot of offensive line is communicating. You don't see it because you're looking at it from a broadcast view. You don't see the communication between the offensive line a lot, but it's a lot of communication. It's a lot of talking to the guy next to you and figuring out how we're going to attack these 2 or 3 guys. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of combat like that, combat communication. And we need guys who are going to be available every single week. That's the beauty of Connor Williams. He was there every week. Rarely missed a down. That's the beauty of Robert Hunt. Rarely missed a down. Right tackle, left guard, left tackle, Armstead. We gotta be available. And that's something that really hurt the Dolphins this year. And I think that was the biggest thing that hurt the Dolphins, was just shuffling the offensive line every week. It's not something you can shuffle every week. It's just too difficult, right? When I coached the offensive line, I needed 5 guys I could trust, and I needed those guys to be communicating all the time. I needed my center to be in the middle, like calling shit out. Hey, hold these guys accountable. The tackle and the guard, they got to talk. If they got zone blocking right here and we're going to the right, and he has an outside shade, let's say the right tackle has an outside shade and we're going zone right. Hey, I got an outside shade, but if he comes inside, he's yours. Like, you got to be communicating like that. If you aren't communicating like that and you guys don't know to communicate like that, and it's not something you do regularly, then it's going to be a problem. You're going to have breakdowns. And that's where I saw most of the issues with the Dolphins this year. Is just there were so many breakdowns. There's so many different guys being plugged in, not understanding what the concept of the play is, not understanding where Tua is in the pocket. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So I just really want them to address the O-line. Whether it's free agency or the draft, you got to bring in two or three guys that are going to be available all the time. And Raul P says, would I get a center? No, I'm going to keep Connor Williams at center. Tua's comfortable with that. I think he played well outside of a couple plays here and there where he was on his ass in pass pro, but I think he played well. I mean, that's going to happen. Linemen are going to get beat. That's the nature of the game. As Harris said, Hunt was our only durable lineman. Yeah. Williams and Hunt were really it. That's really what happened. Is just you only had Connor Williams and Robert Hunt available all year. Those 5 guys need to be together the whole year, playing together, meshing, like understand. And that unit will get better as the season goes on if they're durable. It doesn't matter who's in there. It doesn't matter if you have a weak link in the chain. If you have 5 guys that are together, they can compensate for one another. And that's what I always realized when I was coaching, is that, hey, my center or my guard, one of my guards may be weak, but he knows, my center knows, Pickle knows, hey, I got to help him out a little bit, because this is that play he struggles on. This is that play where he needs a little help. And that's the type of conversations we had in the film room. It's like, hey, we got to work together as a unit. If you know this guy is weak on this play and you know he has a hard time making this play, making this block, maybe you could chip him a little bit, give him a hand before you leave. If you feel like you're strong in this play, hey, maybe you give him a hand before you go, and then you go and let him take it over. Like, that's the conversations that are had in the offensive line film room. So it's gotta be 5 guys that are there every week, learning, practicing, playing. Like, that's something that needs to be had. And I understand that, there's veterans and you take vet days, and Armstead barely practice, but he's gotta, if he's not getting reps physically, he's gotta be getting the mental reps with the unit. He has to be. And honestly, the offensive line will be the most important thing we address this offseason. And we have yet to get it right. We're slowly getting there. We were better than we were last year, for sure. Much better than we were last year. But honestly, there's so much more room for growth. And that's what you got to be positive about going into next year, is that, hey, our offensive line wasn't the best. They weren't. We were plugging guys every week. We were constantly adjusting. Guys were going out of games, bringing other guys in, and we still found a way to win games, right? Still find a way to win games. Now, down the stretch, that came back to haunt us. When you play good teams like San Francisco, the Chargers, Green Bay, when you play teams down the stretch and it's late in the season, them defensive lines are clicking by that point. The safeties know where they need to be. The corners know where they need to be. Linebackers know the keys. At that point, you need your best 5 in there. And we didn't have our best 5 late in the season. We struggled. We got Armstead back in the playoffs. And honestly, that was probably the difference in us competing and not competing, is him being in the game. Because I can only imagine if somebody else was in there and they were just teeing off on Skyler. Bro, that would have been ugly. So, yeah, I think offensive line is definitely what we need to address first. Offensive line and backer is going to be linebacker, middle linebacker, outside, everywhere. Like, that's going to be first for offseason for me. Like, I got to figure out the O-line situation first, because I have a QB who is not very durable. That's number one. So, offensive line has got to be first on the list. Running back has got to be up there too, because all them dudes are free agents, all of them. So unless you're going to bring them back. But when we talk about running back, I do like some of the free agents. Josh Jacobs, Saquon, them dudes can go. I do like them dudes. If we could get one of them, Saquon is going to be expensive. He had to take a little discount to come to Miami, but I like them dudes. I like Jacobs running the ball. That dude could play. I think we need a guy like that. We need a dog in the backfield. We need somebody who's really going to scare defenses. I like Mostert. I think he's a good switch up number 2 guy. I think Jeff Wilson's a good back. I think he's a good back. Hopefully we can get him back on a little discounted rate. Hopefully he wants to play for McDaniel. I'd like to see him just kind of get more involved, man. I want to see these guys get more involved, more into it, man. So we got anybody who we need another question, man. What's up with another question? We got 25 in the room, man. What's up with y'all? Hit the like on your way in. 26 in the building. Shout out to everybody coming through, checking your boy out, man. It's been a while, right? You know what time it is, man. My man Shake says Las Vegas shuffled cards less than we shuffled in Miami. Bro, for real, bro. We were shuffling our offensive line every week. Sammy Rosa says we didn't run the football against our team. And yeah, that's part of it too, honestly. We didn't try to run the football. We weren't physical enough. And Mike McDaniels has got to do a better job of like establishing himself as far as the run game goes. Like you gotta dominate the line of scrimmage. If you're not dominating the line of scrimmage, then you probably aren't winning the game. So if you're playing this finesse game where you want to throw the ball every game or every time down the field, it's not gonna work, bro. It's just not gonna work. Honestly, Tua's not even that guy. Let's be real about it. I don't want Tua throwing over 30, 35 times a game. Not at all. Our running backs need at least 25 to 30 touches. It needs to be 50-50 at the least. Honestly, I'd like to see 55-45 in favor of the run game. Because I don't think Tua is just that dude you could drop back and throw the ball all the time with. Don't think he's that guy. Irv, what's good with you, man? I see you in the building, man. What's cracking, man? He says Vic Fangio loves running that 6'1", 40 defensive look and loves running that 2 shell a lot. Poyer is definitely an option with Fangio, hopefully at the helm. Yeah, bro. I think Poyer, Fangio, Tyreek, I think they might be having discussions, bro. I think Fangio wants to come here. I think he wants some personnel in the building that's going to help him, bring his vision to life. I think that's part of it, man. So we'll see, man. Super Bowl comes up in a couple weeks, and then we'll be talking about all the coaching hires and stuff like that. Concrete, what's good with you? That's my Seminole. Concrete, my Seminole fan. What's up with you, man? He says Titan is rebuilding. Let's trade for Derrick Henry. He's in the last year of his contract and only $10 million, bro. And D. Henry, he about to get paid probably. Like, let's be real about it. He probably about to get paid. I don't know if we can afford Derrick Henry, but he's a monster. He's a monster. I like Derrick Henry. I'm not sold on him as being an every down guy. He's a stud now. I just like a running back who's a little bit more versatile. Like somebody who can catch the ball out of the backfield. Like somebody who can take those checkdowns, because that's what these checkdowns got to be better. Like we got to check down a little bit more. Like who can take these checkdowns, make one miss, and go. Like I need a back who can do that. I don't think Derrick Henry is that guy. Samuel Rosa says, CB, when your O-line isn't consistent, your QB1 is going to have pressures, allow more consistent, which will get your QB hit. Yeah, and that's the nature of the business, man. And that's what I was telling people about the past 2 years. It's just everything around him was inconsistent. So when you're inconsistent around your QB, and honestly, when you as a QB, I want you guys to think about this. As a QB for an NFL team, you look around and you see everybody having all their starting offensive linemen, and then you week to week going in with, oh, this dude playing tackle this week. No, he's not. He's not playing left guard this week. Tell me you lying. Tell me you lying. This dude is not starting for us at left guard this week. What? No, you're not moving Hunt to over there, and then you doing this and putting him in. Who is it? This dude just got here this week. Who is he, bro? Like we literally did that all year with the offensive line. I know Tua had to be back there. Like, bro, this is a shit show. Like we can't keep dudes healthy in the offensive line. Bro, your quarterback can't operate like that. That's not a good feeling, man. It's just not, and that's not the norm in the NFL. So let's not think that's the norm. You're not shuffling offensive linemen every week. It's not the norm, guys. It's not. You're not doing it. It's the NFL. You don't shuffle guys every week. You get 5 guys, and they usually play the whole season. One might get banged up here or there. Rotate one in, right? He comes back the next week and continues on. One might get hurt another 2 to 3 weeks from now. But it's not every week shuffling dudes. It's not that. So let's not think that shit is normal. Let's not make that the norm here in Miami. We need 5 guys that are going to play the entire season. Just like y'all want the quarterback to play the entire season, we got to have everybody else play the entire season. I understand injuries happen. You got to be versatile. You got to adjust. Got to be on the run. Make it happen. But still, like, that shit is not the norm. It's not the norm. Let's get to. He said, "Oh, Concrete said, nah, bro. Titans Super Bowl window is closed, and Barkley is gonna cost too much." Yeah, I can see Saquon costing a lot. Guys, don't underestimate guys wanting to play for Mike McDaniel or wanting to play in Miami in period. Like, don't guys. If it let's really be real about this. If we would have said 2 years ago that, oh, Tyreek Hill was coming to Miami, people would have said, bro, what the hell are y'all talking about? Like, Tyreek Hill will never. Why would he ever want to play with Tua? Why would he ever want to play with the Miami Dolphins? Like, why would Tyron Armstead ever want to play with y'all? Why would Melvin Ingram ever want to go to the Dolphins? Like, that's what y'all would have said. Because honestly, we weren't a good team back then, bro. We weren't a team that were destined to get players like Tyreek Hill. So don't say it's not possible. Everything is on the table. Don't let the negative Nancy's out there tell you that it's not on the table. Everything is on the table. Because these players have relationships. These players talk about practice and who they want to play for and what the team environment is like, what the locker room environment is like. Like, that means a lot. Like, just imagine going to a job every day you hate. You don't like the coaches. You hate the situation. The weather sucks. Your wife mad because the weather sucks. Like, just think about all of this. And then you have the opportunity to go to Miami. Great playing environment. You playing with some of your boys. The weather's nice. Your wife could go out to the mall. She could spend all your money. She could go to the beach. You know, y'all could go hang out. Great nightlife. Nothing's off the table in Miami. So don't say players won't come play or won't take discounts or bro, this is Miami, bro. It's a different animal. It really is a different animal. That's why everybody has houses here, bro. Everybody has houses in Florida because everybody wants to be here. We live where people vacation at. So let's not think that nothing's off the table. Coaches wise, players wise, honestly, we could get anybody. All we got to do is make a couple phone calls. We got to get some players restructured. Hey, maybe Tyreek Hill says, bro, hey, Poyer, I want you here, bro. I'm going to restructure for you, get some more cash up front. Let's make this shit happen. Come to Miami. Let's win a Super Bowl. Like, bro, you're not telling me that couldn't happen. Man, go look at that man's wife. She want to be in Miami, man. She don't want to be in Buffalo. Jordan Poyer wants to be in Miami. He don't want to be in Buffalo, bro. So, I mean, there's other teams out there who are going to give him a contract, but he already has relationships with guys in the building. So you just never know. Anything could be on the table, whether it's Saquon, whether it's Jacobs, whether it's Poyer. There's a lot that could happen. Hey, Christian, we want this guy in the building. Can you do this? Can we adjust somehow? Can you take this money? Like, they can figure it out, man. They can figure it out. Man, I'm going to go a little bit longer, man. Any more questions for me, man? Appreciate y'all, man. We got 25 in the building, man. What's up with y'all, man? All love. Appreciate y'all coming through. Florida-born Kentucky grown says, hey, BB, great content. That's why I want Pollard. Pollard is solid, too. Another solid player at running back. Big dog. Dallas can't afford to put that much money on running back with Zeke, and they need wide receiver. I like Pollard, too. Tony Pollard's a beast. A beast. Yeah, we made Tyreek the highest paid wide receiver. Guess what? The Jets were too. They were about to make him the highest paid wide receiver. Bro, is he worth it? Damn right he worth it. Man almost had 2,000 yards, bro. He should be the highest paid wide receiver. He's the most dynamic player in the NFL. You pay guys for what they're worth. And I can understand you saying, oh, we made him the highest paid. We made you the highest paid. Now we need to get Poyer in the building. help us out. Restructure. You still getting your money. You just getting it differently. Help us out. Help us get this done. It could happen, bro. It could happen. Hey, we trying to get Saquon in the building. We trying to help you out offensively. Take some of the pressure off you. Oh, shit. Tyrese might say, hey, let's do it. I like Saquon. That's my guy. Let's get her done. You just don't know, man. So let's not say things are off the table. I think anything's possible in today's NFL, especially with players having these relationships. A lot of these players have the same agents. They're represented by the same agencies. So a lot of these guys want to play with each other. They want to win football games. They want to have fun. They want to be in a fun environment. They don't want to feel like they're in a prison. So I think a lot of that makes a difference, man. A lot of that makes a difference. My man Mike Wright in the building says we got to address our O-line before we even think about snagging a big ticket running back. I agree with that. But I do think this. I do think running backs can compensate for bad O-line play, right? So I think Saquon, if Saquon was with us this year, we're probably 2 games better because he's that talented. He's that good of a running back. So I do think with shuffling offensive line and doing all that shit, a big ticket running back like Saquon would have made a difference. Of course, there's give and take with everything. But getting those guys in the building, those big ticket running backs, you're not gonna have to do as much on the offensive line. You're still gonna have pieces. You're still gonna have to be durable, but you don't have to add key components where they gotta open up tons of holes and stuff. Bro, Saquon is kind of a one-man band, and when he catches the ball out of that backfield, it's something special too. So, and he looks good right now. He looks strong. Lower body looks strong. He's running hard. He's catching the ball well. He looks explosive. He looks like when he came out of Penn State, bro. A stud. My man Concrete says Texas State versus New York, high-ass tax deductions. That was a no-brainer on where he would want to go. Money would never match. Yeah. I agree with that too. So New York, bro, honestly, New York versus Miami, bro, I'm going to Miami anyways. And honestly, he said it. I wanted to be in Miami. And the Jets is a shit show right now. I mean, my cousin Elijah plays for the Jets, and I don't even know if he want to be there like that. I mean, we'll see. I don't know if he's gonna be there. We'll see. We'll see if he's still there next year. I want him out of there because I think the organization is just a shit show, and they make some dumbass decisions, and they stick by guys who they shouldn't be sticking by. But it is what it is, man. Appreciate y'all coming out, man. I'm gonna crank up more often. If y'all want to see me more often, let me know in the comments, man. I'd like to get it to where I'm doing at least 2 to 3 shows a week and just, doing it more consistently, man. Really doing it more consistently. I like to be Tuesday, Thursdays, and maybe, Saturday or Sunday at some point. I may get to that point, man. But really, I appreciate everybody coming out. Hit the like, share, subscribe. I appreciate everybody coming out. My man Clemente said, I enjoy hearing the other side. For sure, bro. I'm always going to give y'all a kind of fresh perspective. I'm not going to be all negative. There's times for being negative, and there's times for giving people the real. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all checking me out. Tony says, CB, what is your favorite second rounder? Who is your favorite second round corner in this year's draft that's around the same height as Xavier or Byron? So we can move Cater to the slot. Honestly, I don't know, man. I'm going to address the draft. I'm going to do some draft stuff probably starting next week. But I don't think cornerback is going to be one of our plays. I mean, we'll see. I think we got some guys to get healthy first. I do think we bring somebody in, but I don't know if it's going to be in free agency or if it's going to be in the draft. Honestly, with corner, I'd rather bring a guy in who fits into Fangio's system that's already played in this system, kind of. You know, I like how Mike McDaniel brought in the San Fran guys. He knew what worked in his system, and it kind of worked out. Like the Sherfields of the world, bringing in Ingo, even though Ingo was in Las Vegas, like he knew he would fit perfectly in his system. We got to bring in a tight end who's gonna fit, man. I like Smythe, but man, we gotta be better, man. We got to be better at that position. I want a guy who could be a little bit more dynamic. Maybe we draft a tight end. I don't know, but this tight end stuff is really annoying me. I played tight end in college, so I'd like to see them get the tight end position right. Trust me. Trust me. My man Shake says, if you don't hit the like button, Miami's going to rehire Matt Burke. So hit the like button. Oh, man. Hit the like button, not Matt Burke. Vance Joseph? Y'all want Vance Joseph back? Bro, we had so many damn defensive coordinators come through this. BI. It's crazy, bro. He said, my man S. Harris says, what your cuz think about Tua and the Fins? That's a good question. So I've had this conversation with him, Elijah, about the Dolphins. I'm gonna save that for another show. I'm gonna save it for another show. He's told me some stuff that I had to scratch my head on too. So, and that's something we'll have a conversation about. We've had some discussions about. Honestly, we had some discussions about Tua pre-draft that were very interesting. So that's something we got to talk about too. Yeah, I read that comment for Anthony. Raul P says, count me in. Anthony Manzano says, I like Elijah Rex, Kaylee Ringo. Yeah. Sammy Rosa says, thank you, CB83, for all you do. Have a great say. Hey, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Chef Jew in the building. Triple OG, Chef. What's good? Check your post, man. He says, what's good, man? What's good with everybody? What's good? Hit the like on your way out, please. Please. Subscribe, like, share, donate, help the channel grow. Let's go. Only the family, Chef. Only the family. Fins up, baby. Anthony Manzano says, I think this is what happens. I think eventually McDaniel moves away from Frank Smith, promotes Darrell Bevel, and maybe brings in David Saw as quarterback's coach. Damn. Are you already shuffling? Dang, you shuffling the offensive staff? Bro, they just got here, man. They don't shuffle them yet, bro. They're going to be all right. They're going to be all right, man. Hey, like I said, I appreciate everybody coming through. Always love. Check me out, man. I'll probably go live again on maybe Thursday, man. Maybe we go live Thursday or something. Maybe we get it cracking again Thursday or Friday. Maybe we do a Friday night show and really get it cracking, man. But hey, hit the like, share, people, subscribe. Hey, go check out the other channels right now. I think Batman's going on right now. I think Reason's doing a panel tonight. Check out TD's channel. Check out everybody's channel. TFTG, Miss Fins. Who am I missing? Dudley Do Wrong. Check out the space that Batman and Lewis does, even though I be killing them dudes in there. If y'all are into the Twitter spaces, go through there and hear some of the nonsense, bro. You can hear some of the craziest takes. You can hear the clowns like Pete. You can hear the clowns like Esther. You can hear all the clown takes from the circus. It really is like the circus in that bit. Really is a circle. My dog Mace is on right now too. Hey, Mace in the building. What's cracking? What's good with you? Check out Mace Taggart show, man. Check out everybody, man. Like I said, man, Dolphins community is special. We got a really special group of cats doing stuff. Hey, and that's the cool thing about it. I don't gotta get busy all the time. I don't have to be around all the time. I'm gonna be more consistent. I am, just because I feel like I want to do it more. But there's so many other people out there rocking. I like going to other people's shows and talking to them on their show. Sometimes I like just being in the chat and talking shit in the chat and just really getting the chat going. Like, that's my thing. So if you don't see me around on my show, just know I'm somewhere close by. Somewhere close by. You already know. You already know. Hey, appreciate everybody coming through. Please hit the like on your way out. I had 20, 30 at one point. Man, if y'all hit the like, I greatly appreciate that. Drop a comment, even if it's something generic that would help the algorithm. Hey, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. You already know what time it is. Fins Take with CB83. Hey, we get it popping all the time over here. Little too positive for the Wolf Pack, but it is what it is. You know how I say. Welcome.
Came from the bottom, that's foreign. I swear that I'm up for the sun in the morning. Oof, hey, I gotta flex. I need a Nike bag, give me the check. I need the money and power, respect, but I promise I'm repping the O to the dead. Hey, oof, I sort them out of my way. I don't got nothing to say. Now they can't run at my pace. Yeah, they know that we ain't the same. 402, we rep the game.